Have you ever noticed how monks move through the world with a kind of quiet power? A calm that seems almost untouchable, a presence that doesn't depend on the world smiling at them. They don't chase happiness, they don't scramble for approval. They don't run after fleeting moments of pleasure. And yet there's a deep serenity about them that most of us spend our lives desperately trying to grasp. Why is that? And what does it mean for you, seeking just a little more joy, just a little less pain? Let me take you on a journey that will change how you think about happiness and fulfillment. By the end of this, you may find that what you've been chasing all along was never meant to be caught. Imagine a river flowing. It doesn't cling to the rocks or fight the current. It moves with the path that has been carved for it over centuries. Sometimes it's gentle, reflecting the sky like a mirror. Sometimes it's fierce, breaking over obstacles. Happiness is like that river. Most of us try to dam it, control it, force it into a bucket. Monks, however, understand something simple yet profound. You don't own the river. You don't chase it, you step into it, you move with it. And in that movement, life itself becomes your teacher. The first lesson monks teach is that the pursuit of happiness is often the source of our deepest suffering. Think about it. How many hours, days, years have you spent trying to be happy? You buy the thing that promises satisfaction. You chase the promotion, the relationship, the applause. You compare yourself to others who seem to have more, do more, live more. And each time you touch happiness, it slips through your fingers like water. That is because happiness, as we commonly define it, is not a destination. It's not a prize. It's a byproduct, an echo, a shadow of something much deeper. Monks understand this intuitively. They know that when you stop chasing, something extraordinary happens. Happiness finds you. Now here's a question that might shake your assumptions. What if happiness is actually the wrong goal? What if chasing it is like running after a mirage in the desert, thirsty and exhausted? Never realizing that water has been flowing quietly inside of you all along? Monks shift their focus from the pursuit of happiness to the cultivation of presence. Presence is the soil in which contentment grows naturally. It is not forced. It is not frantic. It is a slow, deliberate awareness of life as it is, not as you wish it to be. And when you practice this, your life no longer feels like a series of desperate hunts. It becomes a dance with reality, a partnership with the moment, a dialogue with the universe. Think of the mind as a garden. If you plant weeds of desire, anxiety, and comparison, your energy is spent fighting what grows out of control. If you plant seeds of awareness, gratitude, and curiosity, your inner landscape blooms. Monks spend years tending to this inner garden. Every meditation, every act of simplicity, every deliberate breath is a watering of the soil. They don't promise happiness, but they create conditions where joy can appear naturally. And this is the twist. The harder you chase, the more elusive it becomes. The more you cultivate the inner landscape, the more unavoidable it becomes. The flowers bloom. Consider the metaphor of the sky and clouds. Happiness is often like the clouds, fleeting, changing, sometimes dark, sometimes bright. Most people chase the clouds. Monks, however, turn their attention to the sky itself, the vast, unchanging awareness. That is always present behind the shifting weather of life. By recognizing that the sky is never in danger, they understand that true peace is not found in the clouds, but in the open expanse that contains them. When you live this way, happiness stops being a goal. It becomes a natural companion, appearing in moments of stillness, connection, and authenticity. Here's another perspective to challenge the way you think. Happiness, when chased, often leads to fear. Fear that it will end, fear that it will never come, fear that someone else has more of it than you. Monks transform fear into observation. They learn to watch the rise and fall of emotions without clinging. Imagine sitting by a calm lake at dawn. The water shimmers with light. A breeze stirs the surface. You don't chase the reflection, you simply watch it. You understand that every ripple is temporary. This is the essence of why monks never chase happiness. They know that to grasp it is to distort it. To seek it frantically is to invite suffering. To be present is to meet it fully, without expectation. Let's take this further. Happiness, in the conventional sense, is often tied to external circumstances. Monks flip this equation upside down. They cultivate inner wealth that is impervious to circumstance. Imagine a treasure chest buried beneath your own awareness, untouched by storms, unaffected by the noise. That is the treasure they seek, not gold, not applause, but clarity, stillness, and freedom. And when you prioritize this inner wealth, the world becomes less intimidating, less frantic. You find yourself living with intention rather than reaction, moving with purpose rather than panic. Now here's a truth that most of us resist. Chasing happiness can actually blind us to the richness of life itself. When you are constantly reaching for more, you miss the details, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind, the subtle humor in human folly, the quiet strength of simply breathing. Monks practice noticing. Every step, every meal, every interaction becomes a meditation, a way to drink deeply from the present moment. And paradoxically, in this noticing, joy arises spontaneously. It's not manufactured. It's not earned. It's discovered in the folds of existence you were too busy to see. Here's another metaphor. Imagine life as a tapestry. Each thread is a moment, a thought, a feeling. When you chase happiness, you try to pull one golden thread above all others, believing it will define the beauty. But monks see the whole tapestry. They see the intricate weave of light and dark, of struggle and ease. They understand that the golden thread is meaningless in isolation. True beauty comes from embracing the entire weave, honoring each moment, each experience, each sensation as necessary to the pattern. When you adopt this vision, you stop chasing the glittering illusion of happiness and start engaging with the profound depth of living itself. Ask yourself this: how often do you live in anticipation rather than experience? How often do you postpone joy, telling yourself, I'll be happy when? Monks teach that this postponement is the greatest thief of life. The future is an abstraction. Happiness is not waiting in tomorrow's mailbox. It is available here, now, in the acceptance of what is. The twist is that acceptance does not mean resignation. It does not mean complacency. It does not mean giving up. It means meeting life with clarity, courage, and an open heart, recognizing that struggle and satisfaction are not opposites, but partners in the dance of existence. Consider the analogy of a bird in flight. Most of us try to catch happiness like a bird, sprinting across meadows, leaping over obstacles, never pausing. Monks, however, watch the bird and then they open their own wings. They realize that the bird is never truly separate from the sky. They learn to fly alongside it, to move in harmony with its patterns, and in doing so, they soar. Chasing is replaced by alignment. Frustration is replaced by flow. Anxiety is replaced by awareness. And what you realize is that the bird, the happiness you sought so desperately, is not outside you at all. It has always been part of the sky in which you move. Now let's make this practical. Notice the sensations of sitting, walking, eating. Engage fully with the simplest actions. Everything is temporary: your thoughts, your emotions, your possessions, your relationships. This awareness does not diminish life, it enriches it. When you understand that moments cannot be captured, you begin to appreciate them more fully. Third, cultivate inner wealth. Dedicate time to reflection, meditation, or simply being alone with your thoughts. Remove unnecessary noise. Simplify your environment. The less you chase externally, the more you discover internally. Here's another subtle but powerful insight. Happiness that is chased externally is conditional. It depends on outcomes, on people, on circumstances. Happiness that arises from awareness and presence is unconditional. It is available in the middle of chaos, in the midst of uncertainty, even in the presence of pain. Monks are not immune to suffering. They do not live in some bubble of perfect serenity, but they respond differently. They respond with attention, with equanimity, with wisdom. And this is a choice you can make even now, regardless of what your surroundings look like. Let's take a moment for reflection. Imagine a life where you stop chasing happiness. Imagine waking each day not with the question, what can I acquire to be happy? But with, how can I fully inhabit this moment? Imagine the freedom of not being enslaved by expectations, of not measuring your worth by fleeting pleasures or accolades. Imagine the relief of letting go of the relentless internal competition that drives so much of human anxiety. This is not fantasy, this is practice, this is possible. This is the path that monks have walked for centuries, and it is open to you as well. There's a saying among monks: the quieter you become, the more you can hear. What does this mean? It means that when you stop chasing, you start listening. You hear the wisdom in your own heart. You see the lessons in your failures. You feel the depth of human connection in a glance, a word, a touch. You notice the subtle beauty in the ordinary. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, life transforms. The noise fades, the frantic grasping fades. And what remains is clarity, presence, and a profound sense of being alive. Now, I want you to consider the ultimate twist. What you have been chasing all along, happiness, is not outside you. It is not in the accolades, the promotions, the possessions, the applause. It is not in anyone else's approval. It is inside. It has always been inside. Chasing it externally is like searching for water. In the desert, when a river flows quietly beneath your feet, monks teach us to stop running. They teach us to step into the river, to flow, to notice, to be. And in that flow, happiness emerges not as a frantic pursuit, not as a forced emotion, but as a natural companion, always present, always available, always yours to experience. So what does this mean for you right here, right now? It means that you can stop chasing. You can stop grasping. You can stop defining your life by what you lack. Instead, you can cultivate presence, awareness, and inner wealth. You can tend to your own garden, watch the river, notice the sky behind the clouds, and open your wings alongside the bird. You can live fully, vividly, and meaningfully, not in pursuit of happiness, but in embrace of life itself. This is the monk's secret, the timeless wisdom that transcends culture, religion, and era. And this secret is available to you if you're willing to step off the treadmill and simply notice, simply be, simply live. Now take a moment and breathe. Feel your chest rise and fall. Listen to the sounds around you. Notice the sensations in your body. Recognize that this right now is a moment of complete presence. You don't have to chase happiness to experience it. You don't have to earn peace to feel it. You don't have to wait for circumstances to align. All of it is already here, flowing quietly beneath your awareness, waiting for you to step into it. The challenge is simple, yet profound. Will you continue to chase the clouds, or will you turn your gaze to the sky? Will you keep running after the river, or will you step into its current and let it carry you? Will you keep grasping for fleeting pleasures, or will you cultivate the soil of your own mind, knowing that joy will bloom naturally when the conditions are right? Monks have lived these questions for centuries. You can start today, you can start now. And here's one last thought to leave with you. Life is a series of moments, not a checklist of accomplishments. Happiness is not a goal to be hunted. It is the fragrance of a flower, the warmth of a sunrise, the quiet depth of breath. It is discovered in presence, cultivated through awareness, and revealed in the simple act of living fully. The monk's wisdom is not a secret guarded in monasteries. It is a truth that whispers to all who are willing to listen. The choice is yours. Step into the river. Open your wings. Notice the sky. Be present. And watch as happiness unbidden flows toward you naturally, as it always has, as it always will. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to pause and reflect. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What does happiness mean to you when you stop chasing it? If you found value in this journey, hit the like button to support the channel and help others discover this perspective. And most importantly, subscribe to Echoes of Greatness so we can continue exploring the depths of life, philosophy, and personal transformation together. Remember, the river is always flowing, and your journey toward inner freedom starts now.